Hi, I'm Mike Canberger with Tricky Fast Studios. Today, I'm going to show you how to use virtual currency in Cat Game Builder. By the end of this video, you should be able to create a new virtual currency, set up the virtual currencies service, and connect buttons to grant or take away currency from the player. So let's start with an empty scene here. The first thing we need to do is add the virtual currency service. So we go cat new services, virtual currency service. So there's a little bit of setup we need to do here. We need to add any currencies in the game to this currencies list in the virtual currency service. So let's create a currency now. We can right click in the project folder, go to create cat virtual currency, and let's call this tokens. So we'll set the currency name. This could be localized, but we don't have a localization service. We can attach it to the account or character. We'll give it a symbol, this coin here. Description. We could also set some exchange rates against other currencies in the game, but we're not going to show that in this video. So now once we have the currency set up, we're going to add a currency to the service, drag it in, and that's all we need to do, and now this currency is in our game. Next, let's just create a canvas here, and in the canvas we'll add a button. We'll call this the give button. Change the text to give money, and let's make this button into a state machine. If you have a UI and you're creating a button, it's really helpful to just turn it into a state machine and then add the button click event to it. A button trigger. So on this trigger, we're going to grant virtual currency. We'll call it tokens, because that's the name of our currency. We'll give 10. And then let's also create a text box and move that up a little bit here. And then we're going to add some data binding to this to show the amount of currency that we have. And for that, we want UI currency amount data bind. The only thing we need to set here is the currency. And we should be good. So let's hit play. Now we've got no currency. We're going to, now we get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Lots of currency. All right, what if we wanted to take away some currency? So let's quickly duplicate this. Select it, hit Control D. Rename this to take button. Change the text to take money. Let's move the button over this way a little bit. Move this button over that way a little bit. All right. And then we're going to delete this grant virtual currency action, and instead we're going to add spend virtual currency. Set the currency name to tokens, because that's our currency, and then we'll set the amount to 10. Let's give that a try. So if we give money, we got 30. We can take away money. Now you'll notice if I'm at 0 and I try to take away money, it stays at 0. It doesn't go negative. So one thing we might want to do is to prevent the player from even pressing that take money button if they don't have the currency to spend. So we can do that by adding another triggered action. In this case, we'll add the trigger virtual currency trigger. And let's check over here. The currency name is, again, tokens, because that's what we've set up. We want it to be, if it's less than 10 tokens, the amount that we're taking away. Then we're just going to disable this button using an interactable a set interactable action. We're going to revert on stop. We're going to set it to point at the owner, so that's the button. And then we're going to have it set it so that it's not interactable. So now, if we hit play, the take money button is disabled, so we can't even press it. So if we give money, now it's enabled again. We take money, it's disabled. We can give money a bunch of times, take money a bunch of times. Once we get to 0, it's not enabled anymore. So the other thing you can do with virtual currency, which is more useful when you have the RPG add-on, is to add a price to something. So if we created this new game object here, let's just create a cube. So there's a component you can add called a price component. And the price component takes a list of amounts, and we'll just add 1. And we're going to set the currency name to be tokens and the amount to be 5. So if we want to show how much this cube costs, we can add a price to it. So first we're going to start with creating an empty game object under our canvas. And we're going to call this price. And underneath that, we want to have a text. And let's just move our price down here a little bit. And we also want to have an image. Let's move the image over. And let's make it smaller. Let's just do that. Back over there. And now on this price, this empty game object that we created with the text and the image underneath it, we're going to add a UI price data bind. So we'll set the currency name to tokens, because that's our currency. Path to icon is where we need to go from price to get to the icon. So that's just image. Path to text is where we need to go from price to get to the actual text. And that is just text. The first thing we want to do is we want to bind this to our cube. So that way it's going to get this pricing information from the price that's attached to the cube, which is 5 tokens. So now if we hit play, it changed to our currency icon. And it also set it to 5 tokens. Of course, we didn't hook that up to any of these buttons, but that's okay. So there you have it. In this video, you should have learned how to set up the currency service, create a new virtual currency, to add buttons for giving and taking away money, to display the player's money on the screen, and then also to add a price to an item and to display that price in a UI. I hope you found this video informative and useful. Let us know in the comments if there are other videos or tutorials you'd like to see. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on social media for the latest videos and other news. For more information on CAT and how it can help you build and prototype games faster, please visit catgamebuilder.com. I'm Mike Hanberger with Tricky Fast Studios. Thanks for watching.